Hey everyone, it's me, Eufalesio, yet again with new content for you. In this video I'm going to address, yet again, Rilianikainal, Riliano, for your friends, or for me sometimes. I'm going to talk about nowadays. In this video, the topic will be a bit of morphology and syntax, especially morphology, because syntax is fairly easy. Let us begin with the syntax. If you don't know what syntax is, go check it on Wikipedia. Okay, you have done your research. No. Listen, Rilianikainal, Riliano, is an SOV language. Typically, subject, object, verb. Normally, because it can change. This is the most classic order. The order on which sentences will be mostly delivered. You have also VSO, SVO, OVS even, but you get the idea. These are all minor word order. This is the most common word order, literally translated as, for example, English, I sandwich ate, while the others are just I ate sandwich and sandwich ate I, and all other these syntax orders. And that is all I have to say about syntax in a very simple level. For the other pieces of syntax, I will have to say a bit more of morphology, because it's a bit complex. Let us begin with noun cases, because in Rilianikainal, nouns can be inflected. You can put suffixes on it, which corresponds roughly to a preposition in English, more or less. You get me? More or less. Here is a table with all the cases, in case you don't want to gulp this explication. But for the people that don't know, there are 10 cases in Rilianikainal. You have nominative, accusative, dative, genitive or possessive, locative, allative, instrumental, essive, agent, and temporal. These are all the 10 cases of Riliano. And each of them has a particular suffix that you put on words. Let me give you examples with the word yofti, which means house or a place to live, sometimes even hotel. Okay, so I'm going to put right here the suffix. Accusative. The accusative is made with ke, or sometimes long ke. For example, tahas yoftike vettare. There, yoftike is house, but inflected with the accusative case, which denotes the object of a sentence. Remember when I said SVO? Well, the O is the ke with accusative case. Then, dative. Ho. Always ho. For example, mi yojeleshalau doho. There you have doho, which means to him or to her, more or less, or to it. Then, the genitive with hes. But this hes tends to change a lot. It can become thes, ses, thes, shes, even tses. This suffix changes a lot. But the most common way of suffixing with the genitive case is hes. For example, in the phrase "Tint hes ngirlur," the speed of sound. In that word, it's tinte hes, because it ends in a vowel. So hes is when it ends in a vowel. But when it doesn't end in a vowel, that's when you start to put the fes, thes, ses, shes, hes, and phes even. Charkaf. Charkaf is declined as charkapfes. not charcafes or charcafes. Sometimes you cannot tell when to use a particular suffix, especially when it ends in f, th, sh, or h. For example, chef. This one is not chefes, but chefes. Why? Evolution of language. Because this originally was cheb, and this one was charcap. Had charcapes and chebhes. This became f, and this became pf. But the original words charcaf and chev were pronounced with a f sound, and so that's part of the irregularity. But I'm not going to stress too much of the irregularity, just bear with me. That's how it works, and it has always worked, and how I managed to make it work. Then, locative. Nyang. Not much to say about this, only that if you have a word that has another nasal, for example Kim, you don't put Kim Nyang. You have to do special but considerate strategy. Kinyang. Assimilation. Oops, almost forgot to say the locative case has the function of telling in which place you are set, or where does it take a place, in static motion, not moving. If you get me. In the phrase skithenahuinyang tapezochtembire, there you have the nyang attached to skithenahui. We're working as the locative, meaning in skithenahui. Then you have the allative, ni, which means more or less towards, as in the phrase Chelaska ni tsualelaya, which means let's go to Chelaska. There, Chelaska is inflected with ni, so Chelaska ni. Locative is more like inside, at a particular place without movement. This implies movement of some sorts, while this is stationary. Then, instrumental. Instrumental is commonly used with the suffix lui. For example, pimodech luño kerraje. One must eat with chopsticks. There, pimodech lui is inflected with lui. Pimodech and then lui. Pimodech lui. The essive case, which is inflected with wa. For example, rolwa am mayores. You look like a beast. There, the wa at rolwa is telling you like a beast. This wa tells you like a, more or less like a, asa even. But this suffix tends to change, because the root of rolwa is not roll, but ror. You might say, why is it rolwa and not rorwa? Rua is impossible in Rilianikainal. So all roi, re, rui, ro has turned into lua, lue, lui, luo, and that is all. Then, agent case. Peth. Not much to say about this, just that it's peth. For example, in the phrase wow peth shuillulerre, I got bitten by a dog. Wow peth, by a dog. The agent case is more like baya or because of. This is a multi-purpose case. It has many ways. For example, when you have to take someone to a place, like in the phrase Nino pethiges yoftitsuale. Nino takes me home. And finally, the temporal case, which is normally inflected with chtang, and chtang when it's inflected with a vowel, and ochtang when it ends in a consonant. In the phrase tuiñu michtang this night. And you might say, but what is the nominative case? No marking. And that is all I have to say about noun cases. And this reminds me, with noun cases comes noun clauses. So let me talk about those in a finer detail. So for example, Say you want to say the goat that I own is green. The that I own is expressed with the particle cha. And cha can also be inflected. You can put cha que, cha ñang, all the cases that you want. And it's always having something at its side. For example, this phrase that you have right here. I don't like going on a stroll without you. When you see this cha in any sentence in Rilianikainal, you have to know that that sentence is within a sentence working as a noun, an adjective, whatever. But it's a sentence that has a role in another broader, bigger sentence. Also note that I haven't said this before, but in Rilianikainal, there are no adverbs. There aren't any, as you have in English. Moderate. Oof, excuse my penmanship. And also moderately, with the li, signifying an adverb, and this one an adjective. All because of the li. Well, that in Rilianikainal does not exist. Sort of. There is a particle, mo, which does make some verbs into adverbs, but it's quite loose. For example, moshuilul, or by nibbling. And now I'm going to leave you some example phrases, complicated phrases, for you to see. This one is by courtesy of one of my Discord users in my server, Osiris Loves Rosboy. I'm about to whip somebody's ass. In this example, as you can see, there is no cha. This is an exception because ira is the subject form of I, the first person. So it is clear from context that the next thing that will appear, it is implied that it is the object. Okay. Another sentence by courtesy of Warranted Son, another fellow of my server. Tamalaga kussirejaba ihespomdu chaminyangane. Nehutorsi kussirejaba ihespompeth chualendla chukichis nyang Saturday chtang. Whoa, that's a big phrase. And it means, literally as he said, guys, stop cussing. My mom is in the other room. If we be good and don't cuss, my mom will take us to Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday. Alright, so let's do this step by step. First, let me overlay the syntax of all the sentences of the sentence. Alright, there it is. The sentences that are in only red are easy, because it's just subject, object, verb. All the attention will be drawn on the longer sentence. Okay, as I am moving it, let's start with the blue one. That means if we be good and don't cuss. The if clause, because there are no if clauses in Riliano. We rely on the who suffixes that you put on verbs. But this is something that I haven't seen before, but it is still important to know. In the other part you have ihespompeth zualendla. That's the core of the sentence, particularly on zualendla. We go. Ihespompeth is by my mother, and zualendla is we go. Remember that structure. By my mother that we go. Essentially, my mother takes us. Then the green ones, Chuck E. Cheese nyang. Chuck E. Cheese but with the nyang. And Saturday, same but with chtang. They are loan words inflected with their case suffixes, as you can see. In this sentence, you can put the cha at the start. So you can say Kane hutorsicus, you get me? Bien picky. Let me review the other red sentences. You have Tamalaga, that's a vocative, a call of attention. Guys! Then kusirejaba, don't cuss, the other sentence. Ihes pom, my mother, duchaminyang, other room at Gane. Is! With emphasis on the is! So essentially, my mother is in another room. Put it all together and you have the sentence that I will not repeat. And that is all I have to say. Remember, if you have any doubts, tell me in the comments. Don't live with the doubt. I don't want you to live in the doubt. But as always, goodbye.